everybody. Today is a fantastic day. We are now live with everybody on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. This is magnificent and wonderful. I actually do film them on different cameras because, quite frankly, the cameras are fantastic on each one of these devices. And if this is all about leveraging apps and technology, then that's exactly what we're talking about here today, so that we can leverage the technology that we have at our fingertips. And really, these devices don't get used frequently enough, and nobody is talking about it. And here's the challenge. Here's the absolute ridiculous part. If you are like me and you have this magnificent device in your hand, this $2,000 computer, the iPhone 16 that has just been released, and I'm dying to get one myself, as well as Apple's iMac Mini and the Air laptop built for Apple Intelligence as well. So I really don't know what that is all about, but I'm a techie guy and I'm going to dive into it so that I can bring it to you as well. These devices that are in our hands are supercomputers. And with this supercomputer, just like my good friend General Motors Jeff, who does those walk around videos, he started out just like you did, deciding that, you know what customers would really like to have? That would be video of me doing a walk around about the automobile and every reason why a customer would want to buy it. And he did that with his phone. And he edited all of it on his phone. When I met Jeff, he was at the infancy of his career and he was trying to build his following as fast as he possibly could. And at that point, he had tens of thousands of followers, where I'm scrambling to get thousands at a time. And I don't expect to have a big following. So definitely join my YouTube channel and subscribe there. That would be magnificent and wonderful. But if you prefer to get all of this right here on LinkedIn or in the private members Facebook group of the Auto Sales Academy on Facebook, great, no problem at all. But if you want to follow me on YouTube and see more videos and get more free training, where you get to the very point where you're like, okay, Bill, this is fantastic. You shared all these details with me, but I've got it in pieces. How do I put the pieces together? Well, today that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring so many of the pieces together with that wonderful, magnificent supercomputer that you're walking around with in your pocket. You know what? It drives me absolutely crazy, so stop doing this. When I see people take their supercomputer and they just toss it on the car seat, they just toss it on the desk, they put it in their back pocket, and then they sit in a chair. I'm like, holy smokes, do you have any idea the value? Like the old days, and I'm really going to date myself here, the Rolodex. And I remember listening to one speaker speak eloquently. It may have been Brian Tracy for that matter. It may have been Zig Ziglar, who stated that if there was one thing that they could keep in business wherever they go and never lose it, never give it up, that one piece of technology, that one item in business, that strategy, and that would be their Rolodex. And that's what we're talking about today, because here's the thing. You take your iPhone, let's make the iPhone, let's call it a phone, your mobile device, okay? And the reason why it's green is because this is the moneymaker. This is what is really going to work for you extremely well. And now we break that phone down into the various components that it has and that it's capable of. So over here, we have one thing that our phones can do so incredibly well. We have another thing that our phones do well, and quite frankly, it's silly that I'm just going through it and not sharing those details with you. Let me tell you what it's all about. That's why you came here today, to learn and find out more about it. This is email, right? Now, I'm getting ahead of myself on email because the second thing that I believe that you should really use your phone for is contacts. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's Android or Apple, you know within your phone, you have an address book of contacts and you can create lists there as well. And we will talk about that very, very shortly. The next thing that you can do with your phone is, obviously, everything that we like to enjoy with our phones, social media, right? And this is the purpose of all of this, is for staying in touch with customers. Now, in order for you to have a robust social media account so that you can help customers maintain your name as top of mind. Let's forget about helping them to buy. Let's forget about helping them to come in and see. Let's forget about our attractive character. All of that comes down the road. And let's forget about how they can't stand to turn down your irresistible offer. All of that comes from the news feed. Now I put that in black as opposed to the blue because this is what we are not doing right now, in my opinion, as phone users. Are you using your phone, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet as a device to discover what your manufacturer is currently doing, working on, promoting? And of course, within the news feed, we have inside that social media. Are you making connections with other individuals within the industry other than me and training and teaching you how to do more and better and sell more and 10, 20, and 30 vehicles per month or a six-figure income? But are you networking through a virtual connection with individuals that are extremely familiar with electrification, fuel economy, engine performance, wheels, tires, tire compositions, accessories, features that are coming down the pipe? Are you on the cutting leading edge of that, getting information from the engineers that specifically build it? Now, rather than waiting for it to appear in your news feed, you can go and assemble it, leveraging it through the news feed, populate it in your social media in order for you to make money with your phone. This is what leveraging apps and technology is all about. Now, then we really go over here to the efficiency apps. And in efficiency apps, I'm going to talk extensively about the ones that you can download and get quickly and easily. In fact, that's probably what you came here to find out all about. If you're looking for angles for you to prospect more and bring more clients into the showroom, or at least into your news feed, or direct messaging and email messaging and just reaching out to you or seeing you on social media and driving by the dealership and coming to see you, I get it. I understand. All that you want to do and all that you want me to teach you to do is how do I sell 10, 20, and 30 vehicles per month. Remember, with 10 vehicles per month at a 1 in 3 closing ratio, you only need to speak to 30 people. If this month, and remember, Friday is halfway through the month. If you're finding this month right now a challenge for you because you're nowhere at 10, you're not even at 5, you may be working on 2 right now and thinking to yourself, well, it's just the beginning of the month. It's essentially the first week of the month. It is definitely not the first week of the month. The first week of the month ended on Friday last week. Last Thursday was our weekly class, and I was sharing with everybody in the Auto Dealership Academy, the private exclusive members area, the paying clients, that now it's the 7th of the month. You should have 3 deals on the board in order to make this month a little easier for you, because the one thing that's really going to mix it up for us is Black Friday, right? And if Black Friday isn't enough this month, we're going to have Cyber Monday. And if that isn't enough for our clients to get distracted and not really want to make this decision right now to purchase an automobile, it is holiday shopping season. And this is coming at us like a freight train. And this is the reason why average ordinary automobile salespeople flounder. And if you find yourself struggling and floundering right now and you're looking for, what do I do? I've got too much time on my hands all day long. It's a magnificent time for you to dive into social media, emailing, and following up. Because the biggest mistake that is currently being made is that we're not following up nearly enough. And so I'm going to go to green, the money marker again, because this is what we really need to do for all of these things that we're currently working on. That it's wonderful to be able to know how to create posts that people are really going to want and read. And of course, we can leverage within that for our social, for both these, we can utilize artificial intelligence. And you've heard me talk about that before. We're going to get into it very, very shortly. But when we don't really know why we're doing all of this and nothing seems to materialize and we don't get any more sales as a result of all of this work that we're doing, if this is not happening, we're not making sales, we're not getting volume, therefore we're not making any money, then why do I bother doing this at all, Bill? And the reason why I share that with you, and as Simon Sinek was share with us, that the most important question that we must ask ourselves is, what is the reason why we're doing it? Why do I exist? Why do I want to sell automobiles? Why do I want to help customers? Why do I want to sell to friends and family? For the simple purpose of protecting them from being taken advantage of, doing a deal somewhere else at some other point in time. To protect them from paying too much for an automobile. And you know, the reason why friends and family should want to do business with you, and it doesn't mean that they buy it for cost. It doesn't mean that they buy it for less than cost. As much as employee pricing suggests that, we don't sell and give away automobiles. Manufacturers are giving away automobiles. Maybe we're a little bit more flexible than other times of the year, but that's for the purpose of creating volume. Your friends and family should want to do business with you, because if they're going to pay anybody profit, they should want to give it to you. That's how I feel about it. All friends and family, I would want to deal with my friends and family. When I don't want to deal with my friends and family is when they don't build for me the value bridge of my old trade-in to what the new one is going to do. When that gets fragmented here and I fall out of their funnel sequence, the activities that lead to the sale, then I don't purchase. Doesn't mean that I don't want to purchase an automobile. It doesn't mean I don't want to purchase a snowmobile, ATV, UTV, bicycle, but refrigerator for that matter, computer, smartphone. When we don't bridge the gap between what their old vehicle currently is at $200 bi-weekly to $600 bi-weekly, and really show all the reasons why this is the route that we should be taking and why we must have it, then naturally I want to purchase the new one from family, friends, or relatives at dead nuts. In fact, I want to purchase it for the same price as what I currently have. And this is the challenge that we all experience, and the reason why most of you say, I don't want to sell to friends and family. But going back to follow-up, let's assuming that you're not even just focused on friends and family, you have some leads. Now, if you've been in the business for 6 months or more, in fact, if you've been in the business 3 days, you've probably had a couple of leads. And if you're not following up with them in a timely fashion, and a timely fashion is really easy to determine. Here we go with time across the bottom of the scale, and over here is desire. This is how much they wanted to purchase your automobile. Every single customer goes through this upside down bell curve. And what the upside down bell curve represents is right here at the fall, they are fearful of making a decision. They don't really know whether they're getting a fantastic price that you keep saying is a fantastic deal and the reason why they should purchase. They really don't know until they have shopped how many? 1, 3, 5, 10, 20 dealers. Notice how that goes across in time, that this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. How much time does it take for somebody to shop that many retailers? Well, it's certainly easy with email, and it's even easier with telephone. And so this is the reason why your follow-up must be absolutely crisp and robust, because here's exactly what happens. As desire starts to wane and the fear of not getting a great deal comes along, the client must remain in what I call the 72-hour window. At the 72-hour mark, 3 days, your customers, the majority of them, will have made a decision to move on to their best case scenario. And what happens in this particular case is the maximum amount of pain that they can't make a decision. It's not the pain that their automobile is going to quit on them. It's not the pain that it's going to cost them a bunch of money in the service department. It's not the pain that something drastic could happen and the vehicle is not running at all. That looms over top of them like a dark cloud as they walk along and meander through life. But here's the thing. Every time they go out to that automobile and they start it, they turn the key and it starts right up, guess what they think? I'm really glad I didn't make that decision to go from where I am now at $198 bi-weekly to over here, right? To how much? What's the average monthly payment right now? $295 bi-weekly. That's a $200 increase per month. That's $2,400 per year more. And an average income rate of, say, for instance, a normal income level where you're paying 30% in tax, let's multiply the 2,400 by 0.3. And what are we looking at? Well, 10% would be 240, 20% would be 480. At 30%, we add another $240 to the 480, 680, $720. Let's say 700 for round figures. Now all of a sudden we are at $3,100 more per year for that client to move on to our product. And if we haven't built that value bridge, then it won't make sense. Now, the value bridge and getting customers to that purchase scenario is all about prospect harvesting. It's all about closing and negotiation. That's all about product presentations. That all is wonderful and terrific. The reason why you aren't selling 10, 20, or 30 vehicles per month, and I know if I'm saying 10 and 10 is like a lofty goal and a dream for you, then I'm going to fix that situation right now. And if you're hearing me say 20 and 30 and I'm losing you completely and you're getting angry, stay with me. Relax. Don't worry about it. If you can't hit 30, don't fuss over it. Don't debate it with me. Don't battle with me. I'll give you all the examples in the entire world of the salespeople that we currently have selling 30. But if 20 is a lofty dream for you, then let's work on 10. The secret is predictable consistency. Once we get to the 10, that's the important part. So let's take this out of the equation. Now you understand why follow-up is so important, and how we do the follow-up is really quite easy. What I know all of you are going to be super excited about is how do I leverage social media to bring me in more clients? And while that is a prudent thought, and I will congratulate you for that and pat you on the back, I think it's an excellent idea. In my little city where we live, unfortunately, as a result of the pandemic protocol and the fact that businesses were so limited by the number of people that can come in and work, our two newspapers decided to close up. I don't know whether I'd say they went bankrupt and they shut down, but they did decide to close up. So for the retailers in my vicinity, in my metropolitan area, it's a real struggle for them in terms of advertising. And this is what the advertising is all about. People are watching and reading and getting their news on their mobile device up here. And that's the reason why it's the green. It's the money maker. So when it comes to social media, I know you want to know more about social media. When you're populating your feed, I have a strategy that is really quite simple. It is 33% of the time about you, what you are doing, what automobiles you are most excited about. You could post 1/3 of the time of all your social media posts. If you post just once a week, it will be one post this week about the new demonstrator that you just got, the new automobile that just arrived, the fantastic feature that you are fully aware of, but you really got a chance to experience it. And this is the reason why you want to help everybody fall in love with it and utilize it. 1/3 of what you post about is going to be your product. And as much as I said in the you portion, this is your new demo. This is a feature on the new vehicles that you really like. This is a new vehicle that arrived. This is about you falling in love with that and how exciting and terrific it is. And it's as simple as taking your mobile device, pressing the red button, recording a video for yourself, and then we're going to plug that into email. And in the email, we're going to leverage a 30 email sequence, 1 through 30 different emails that are all going to come from AI. Artificial intelligence. I'll get into that in a moment here. Now, because you have their email address, I'm assuming, and I'm going to make it really clear at this point in time, we are not leveraging social media in this particular capacity for the purpose of attracting new business. Because you've already got a bunch of red hot buyers that are not being followed up. Average ordinary automobile salespeople, the statistic was less than 10% follow up their clients. We are hearing a statistic that is far less than 10%. So you have better than a 1 in 10 opportunity to sell somebody simply because you made a call, sent them an email, spear them on social media, and you really created that opportunity to move from the old to the new, bridging the value and leveraging some of the apps and technology that can do that for you. So when I talk about spearing customers, we already have them in our database. What you want to do immediately as you've logged them into your CRM, and this is a double step, I get that, and you're going to say to yourself, Bill, you're compounding my efforts here where we were to get more done in hours than most do in days and weeks. You've just told me to take the information from the CRM and plug it into my phone under my contacts. Yeah, you are. You must. Here's where you can put in name, first and last, telephone number, home, cell phone, work, fax machine, if they have a fax machine, leverage it to do every opportunity you can. If you want to sell 10 vehicles this month, don't you want to capitalize on every opportunity you can in order to be able to get there? In the contacts, you'll put in their email address, home, work. Maybe you want to ask them for 1 or 2 email addresses because so much of our email is being scrutinized by the email delivery services, and therefore it's falling into promotions, and it's falling into spam, and it's falling into junk, and it's just not getting to them in a timely fashion. Maybe it is getting to them in a timely fashion, and you need to get 3 or 4 emails to them. Here's the thing. When it's at your fingertips, and you're walking along with this technology, your phone, and you decide that now would be a great time for me to share with everybody Blue Cruise, Smart Cruise Control, automatic parking, automatic parallel parking, backup cameras, 8 cameras around the vehicle, trailer backup assist, whatever that moment in time captivates your attention. Guess what? It's interesting to your clientele as well. And here you can shoot a video, then email it out to that individual, or in fact, batch it out to a number of your clients. That gets a little bit dicey with email delivery services, and I want to warn you of that. Be careful not to send more than 3 to 4 emails from your personal account. And this actually includes the dealership as well, because the email delivery services will get flagged as spam, even though you have this contact in your contacts. And for instance, Gmail should pick up on that. They still get a little bit concerned when they start to see 10, 15, definitely concerned at 20, absolutely shut you down at 25 and beyond. It's just there has been so much complaints about email, and of course there are now laws and litigation in order to prevent us from spamming, and you don't need to or want to. All you want to work with is your 10 leads, your 10 hot leads per month, your daily 10 leads, where you drop off somebody tomorrow to add another one, so you always have 10 hot leads every single day, all the time. Now, those people that you drop off, you don't throw them away. You don't discard them. Like in the old days, I don't know about you, but I couldn't wait to hear someone say, no, I bought somewhere else, and I throw them in the garbage, and couldn't wait to stand out on the showroom floor and get another fresh lead that went nowhere at all. I couldn't wait for them to say no and get another one. And that's, lo and behold, the reason why when I'm speaking with you either in a discovery call, a strategy session call, or my coaching sessions with the paying clients of the Auto Dealership Academy, everybody says, Bill, you know what I just need? I just need more leads. That's all I really need. I love all this stuff, and this could be really helpful. And when I've got predictable sales and income of 15 per month, 20 per month, 25 per month, and I'm making $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 per month, I will do all of this stuff. And why wait? Why wait until then? Because then may never come along, and you'll be like every other average ordinary automobile salesperson struggling along, and you wonder, there's got to be a better life. In fact, this time of the year, I don't know about you, but I see Indeed and jobs on LinkedIn popping up faster and quickly all the time. In fact, I'm getting calls as I normally do, and I can't understand why. This is a wonderful time for automobile dealers to be hiring and then go through the training. And probably it's in their own way of thinking, this is a way to carry people through the winter when they can do the training and get used to it. And the reality is they don't give them training. This is the reason maybe why you're here today, and I commend you for joining me. But the reality is, let's figure out how we can do this for ourselves so we're less reliant on traffic that we don't control, and we're more reliant on traffic that we do control. And that's really what this is all about. It starts right here. The technology is right in your hand. So with respect to email, obviously you can't put the 30 email sequence on your phone. You certainly could. You can do so in documents. You can save it in Google Docs. It could be a Word document saved in documents throughout Android and on iPhone, but it's going to chew up space on your phone. And quite frankly, in my opinion, the screen, be it I'm operating an iPhone Pro 15 Pro Max, so it's the largest screen, and I find it difficult and small. We try to edit some of the videos that we do on it, and it's just tough to get the slide bar absolutely perfect. I would prefer to go to my MacBook Air to do that sort of thing, but I'll leave that up to you. You can save those emails there and then remind yourself as we're approaching the 24-hour, the 48, the 72-hour mark, keeping everybody in that sequence and renewing. And then as you go out throughout the entire year, that 30 email sequence doesn't just stop right here. Once you've delivered 30 emails to these 10 hot leads, now you're going to want to keep staying in touch with them, because even though they didn't purchase right now today, even though they didn't purchase in this month of November, it doesn't mean that they won't purchase in December, January, February, March, 2025, 2026, 2027. And this is the mistake that we all make, not because we want to, not because we don't believe that those people are going to buy. Every shopper is a buyer, unquestionably, every single time. They're either buying the trade-in that they're currently driving, or they're buying the new vehicle that they would like to go to, or they're going to keep shopping until they buy a new vehicle and replace it. You want to put them into another, if you're sending out an email per week, if you're sending out 2 emails per week, that is still only 25 to 52 emails per year. So what I would suggest you do and recommend, the easiest and fastest way for you to jump on this is to go to ChatGPT. Now you're probably familiar with this. I will put a link in the description below. I would also encourage you to use Gemini, and that is a Google artificial intelligence function, very similar to Microsoft's ChatGPT. And I'll put a link below. Don't worry about having to write it down or find it, and you can just click on it. It'll be in the description, certainly on the YouTube channel, and of course I'll put it on in the comments on Facebook and on LinkedIn. By going to these services, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to get sillier or not as intelligent as you have been. It doesn't necessarily mean that they write the perfect email, but it'll get you started. Now, there are several chat bots within, within each one of those email delivery services. What I have found most helpful, and you can click on the chatbots, you can click on the menu of the chatbots that are available. What we have assembled is through a ton of testing, well over a year and a half of putting the information into the various chatbots that we have developed, and you would be more than welcome to learn more about this by booking a call with me. I'll take you through a demo and show you what our chatbots look like. This makes it a whole lot faster for you to get to dynamite copy that is specifically designed for email. By simply going to the search query and typing in, I need an email to follow up with my customer who didn't purchase an automobile, is not going to be enough to pique their interest and reel them back in. Excuse me. Albeit wonderful and terrific that you actually did it, so that your follow-up is robust and consistent and you're attempting to reel people back in. But in order for you to sell 10 vehicles this particular month, when people are so distracted with other things and very expensive distractions coming up. I mean, this is right now, in my opinion, November is very similar to June. And June is the end of the work year before the holiday season starts, and a number of people are going away for July and August, a week, 2 weeks, month, the whole entire summer, as so many of my friends take off. And so they ramp up and push as hard as they possibly can. And studies have shown with Harvard and so many other magnificent post-secondary education institutions that we never work as hard, we never work as diligently, we never work as efficiently as just before we go away on holidays. So what happens this time of the year is quite the opposite. Instead of working really, really hard towards our objective to sell and make more money, we have a tendency to back off because of the holiday season coming up and the money that will be spent. And for those of us selling high ticket, automobiles being the primary source, power sport will be included in that as well because of the dollars that they have escalated to. And I'm talking about snowmobile, ATV, UTV, even bicycles. I had a really good friend that I was cycling with a couple of weeks ago tell me that his best pal just purchased an e-assist bike. This means you must pedal the bike in order for the electric motor to help assist it along for $20K. $20K, let that sink in. $20,000 for a bicycle. Now, mind you, it has a motor in it, and which is a magnificent technology, but it weighs 4 times as much as my bike. My bike coming in at around 24 pounds. Well, not 4 times, twice as much, pardon me. His bike coming in at closer to 50, but he can go up a hill much faster than I can, twice as fast as I can. If I can go up at 17 kilometers per hour, he can go up at 30 kilometers per hour. That's a real challenge for that bicycle store to sell that individual, and they don't carry a whole lot of them. As you can imagine, if you're reacting like, that is insane, that's exactly where so many of your customers are coming in with a 16-year-old pickup truck or sport utility, and they've escalated from $30,000 and $50,000 vehicles to now $70,000 and $110,000 vehicles. And not all of them. I'm picking the Denalis, the High Countries, the Laramie, and the Platinum versions of those. Anyhow, the point is, in order for you to be top of mind when these people want to buy, you can leverage your phone through the contacts function to send those emails. So you're constantly in contact and you're cycling people through that 72-hour window. Now, sometimes they fall out, and if they do, and as we've talked about, you want to have 25 to 52 more emails because you never give up on anyone. You hang on to them forever. We need to dive into the social media component of it, because as much as your emails are magnificent and wonderful, and the chat function, the chat bots that you select for perfect copyright, which will create excitement and enthusiasm, and the command prompts that you plug into it to specifically speak in a capacity that does elicit action, may not just be enough. And this is where social media you can leverage with ChatGPT and Gemini to help populate content for yourself, but that's not going to be enough either. You can't get images with ChatGPT and Gemini unless you subscribe to higher levels of the chatbot, and maybe you find that, hey, that's worth it all by itself. And again, I will put a link below and you can determine whether you want to do so. At social media, now we got to decide what apps we want to spear our people on. And what I'm finding right now when it comes to leveraging the apps, a lot of your profiles, your picture, right, your picture standing in front of a background doesn't relate to the product that you're selling. I was creeping some of my competitors this particular week just to see what everybody is doing, and that's what I personally just like to do, being aware of what the industry is talking about and making sure that I'm on the same track as well. And two guys, I was absolutely floored. Two of my competitors, and I'm letting a huge cat out of the bag. If they're watching this and they see it in the feed, well, so be it. Shame on you, and kudos to you for listening and watching this. Get a picture of your automobile in the background. If they're trainers, get a picture facilitating in front of a whiteboard your material. Have a picture of your program. Have a picture of you using ATV, UTV, snowmobile in the environment that it is intended for. This time of the year, it's snowmobile season, and you want to change that profile frequently, which, by the way, raises you up in the feed and lets all your friends and family know that you changed your profile picture. Something that you may want to do on a regular basis because it creates a top of mind status. Not to mention, in each one of those profiles, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, whatever platform that you want to go to, make sure you know it really, really well. Your profile speaks volumes about who you are. Your about section is perfectly delineated with all the steps that you made to be able to get to this point, because at the end of the day, this is the trusted way that people believe that you will be there for them in years to come. They don't want to buy, they don't want to spend all this money, the second greatest financial decision they make in their life, with a stranger that is going to disappear next month. That now they don't have somebody to go to in the event that they just want to know how a particular feature works. They don't have someone to go to say, I need to get an oil change done. How do I do it? How does your dealership work? Who do I talk to? They don't have anyone to make that introduction. Worst case scenario, they don't have anyone to go to bat for them in the event that there is a warranty concern. The vehicle is out of warranty by just a smidgen, and they don't have that sales. Nobody wants to wake up in the morning, experience that trauma and that threat, and then learn and discover afterwards that they don't have anybody in their corner. They don't have anyone to help them. So make sure that your social media maintains contact with them by you following them, you connecting with them, you requesting a connection request. And of course, if they've already followed you on Instagram and TikTok, you want to follow back instantly. So are you checking your feed frequently enough? Do you know this, that you want to follow back as much as they follow you? When you follow them, hopefully they will want to follow you back, and you're going to be able to see that. Now, when you push your social media information out that you diligently took time to craft through artificial intelligence, just a little tiny message, and here's another great cat out of the bag one, within your newsfeed and social media, leveraging one app that I think is absolutely magnificent, there's probably a whole bunch of them, is Canva. Within Canva, you can create reels, posts, videos, all in nanoseconds. You can go to ChatGPT, you can ask it to create 25 posts of whatever the topic is that you would like to do. And your topics are really quite easy. It's just all about your automobile and why people would want to buy them. 25 posts that you can bulk import into Canva. Then you just simply need to select some images, and you can do that in Canva. All the colors are there as well. If you need to find more images, don't go to Google Images. The last place that you ever want to go to look for images is Google Images. Not because it isn't fantastic, not because they don't have a ton of images, but because most of the images that they have are copyright protected. So if you do not have images, and again, I would use your smartphone. I would just go out there and look at the products that you've got and take a picture with the camera that is on the back of your smartphone. But if you don't have that, then you can go to pexels.com. And again, don't worry about writing this down. Don't worry about having to remember. You can replay and rewind and listen to this video over again. But I will link a comment. I will post a link to these websites in the comments below where you can go and get a free account with all of these. They're absolutely magnificent. Now, how do you get it for free, and Why would they offer it for free? And that seems crazy that it would be for free if it is that magnificent and wonderful. It's because they are going to upsell you. And once you get using it, just like you start leveraging ChatGPT to write your 30 email sequence, you are going to want to think about joining the ChatGPT fraternity and sorority, paying the $50 to join it, because the value that you get out of it is so incredible. Without that, it's a user pay system. Even though it is free for the elementary version, you can get enhanced versions of it. But for now, just try it for free to make sure that you can do this, because here's the mistake that I see everybody making. And if this is not what you were expecting with leveraging apps and technology, this is what you need to know. Everybody, or the majority of people, start and stop. And so when I get the call and somebody says, Bill, I need to fill my pipeline, I forget about the funnel. Forget about the sales funnel and how the sales funnel works. The sales funnel is quite simply the activities that lead to the sale. That's the welcome interview, product presentation, demonstration, trade appraisal, and the purchase consultation. That's the sales funnel. In a nutshell, that's exactly, we take all these people and we take from the greeting, there's lots of them, then there's fewer that do an interview, there's fewer that do a product presentation, there's fewer that do a vehicle demonstration, there's fewer that commit to buying, and the ones that do drip out the bottom as a sale. The sales funnel is simple and easy. The hard part is the pipeline that gets the people to the funnel. And here's what happens. Start and stop. How long have you done it? How long have you tried? I can't tell you how many students paid me for the information that I'm teaching and training them on this, that started and did it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. How many students did it for 6 weeks? How many students did it for 6 months? This is the reason why average ordinary automobile salespeople struggle. And if you're finding that you are struggling on the showroom floor, that you are competing with colleagues, that you have not got the support that you desperately need to know how to do this. Look, in your social media feed, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're going to say, Bill, oh my gosh, if I'm doing all of this, when do I have time to answer calls? When do I have time to reply to email messages? When do I have time to look after people in the showroom? Let alone, when do I have time to follow up with the clientele that I have already sold and ask them for 2 referrals? Let alone talking to my friends, family, and relatives that I'm down here at the dealership to sell. Let alone going out into the service department and looking for vehicles that you can help buyers upgrade to, or help drivers, upgrade to a newer vehicle. And they will love doing it because everybody wants newer, shiny, faster, of the latest and greatest technology with better fuel economy that totally protects their monthly payment with a warranty. Anybody will buy based on those considerations, because when you present your attractive character, which includes your terrific offer, it only makes sense. When the offer is so great, it's irresistible, they will buy. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's come back to leveraging apps and technology. Right here with leveraging apps, when you say to yourself, when you say to me, Bill, this is great, but the challenge, and if you're a sales manager, if you're a dealer principal watching this, and you're starting to think, oh my gosh, when are my salespeople going to have time to go out on the showroom floor? The last app that I want to share with you is Buffer or Hootsuite. And I will link, again, I will put a link in the description below where you can simply click on the .com and go to their website and sign up for a free account or a free trial period. And now you can take your social media that you've created great news from the artificial intelligence, that your purpose is to push out to your contacts and leverage email to support all of this as well, plugged into Buffer. So you take your time with Canva to find 25 great posts, attaching images to it, because we respond picture tells 1,000 words. We respond way better to images. Video is incredible. You can create 25 reels that you take those individual reels and posts and you bring that up into your Buffer Hootsuite Meet Edgar or Sendable account. And now these schedulers do all the heavy lifting while you go out on the showroom floor and look after another customer. They go out at the time and the date and the frequency that you want it to happen. Look, none of this stuff is something I am not doing. I am not sharing anything with you here that I have not tried and tested at my own dealership and that I do professionally within the Auto Dealership Academy and the Auto Sales Academy. With Buffer and Hootsuite, I am posting 4 times per day. That is 52 weeks of the year. When I started posting at that schedule, I had to find these entities. I had to get off of Google Images. I had to go and find copyright-free images and music that I could leverage to put onto Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and X so that I wasn't infringing on and stealing information or entertainment value, and on YouTube blocking my channel, which fortunately has not happened, and I don't expect it to happen because I'm very conscientious of it, and I want those artists to receive credit where credit is due. I had to find these entities. You can do it as well. Now, that's the most important thing. What I want you to really walk away from all of this training is that you can do this. And it's like the Home Depot slogan, you can do this, we can help. You can do this, I can help. My whole team and I are all more than ready and willing to help you do this. We can do this for you. You can contract us out and we can create the sales funnels, we can create the content, we can deliver the e-leads to you. You will have to do the follow-up, and you want to because you want to sell them. But here's the thing. That's going to cost you money. And from an organic perspective, I really think that when you're really just following up with 5 people per day, you can do this. Right? We're talking about November. This isn't May, June, July. This is November and going into December. And always remember, you only need 30 leads. You only need 30 hot leads. And remember, every single individual that emails you, calls you, visits you in the showroom is unquestionably a hot lead. You only need 30 at a 1 in 3 closing ratio where everybody who comes in and looking at an automobile is a buyer. If you don't believe that, then call me. Call me at 705-350-0811. Again, that's 705-350-0811. Text me on that. Let me know when you're going to call so I can free up time in my schedule. Better yet, a link in the comments below, an opportunity for you to book time in my calendar so that you have that chance to close your door, sit down, go out to your demo, sit in the vehicle, and call me. And at a 1 in 3 closing ratio, that's still a really bad closing ratio. You realize that, right? That's a really bad, that's a 60% closing ratio, and it's still bad because 40%, excuse me, pardon me, 40% got away. 40% didn't purchase. Why didn't they purchase? Was it because of you? Was it because of your product? Was it because of your offer? Was it because of your dealership? Was it because of bad timing for them? Was it really the fact that they had to sleep on it? Was it really the fact that they never purchased on their first visit? Was it really the fact that they need to speak it over with their spouse? Was it really the fact that it was too expensive? All of that has been accomplished because they've transcended those steps of buying. So, to get to a 1 in 3 closing ratio, you need to make sure you're creating all the desire, overcoming their fears, and solving their pain. You are the problem solver for them. And leveraging apps and technology, if they don't purchase on the first visit, then this is how you accomplish all of that. Now, I'm going to, in the next video, watch for that as well. In the next live session, get ready for that. We're going to talk about the behavior of buyers because this has changed significantly this year versus other years, we're getting a new type of buyer now in, the one who would not purchase during the inventory shortage and the radical inflation levels. And they are being significantly influenced by the very fact that their vehicles age. So stay tuned for that. You've got to catch those buyer behaviors to be able to plug it in, because no two buyers are the same. And this stands for all of your apps and technologies you're leveraging for the purpose of follow-up, so that people will come in and purchase from you. You can do this. You can sell 10, 20, 30 vehicles per month with predictable consistency. All you need is to watch the next video and you will get this. Better yet, if you can't stand it anymore and this is just making so much sense for you and you want to get started on it, rather than getting the bits and the pieces, you want to know exactly how to do 100 posts in less than an hour and plug it into Buffer, then book a call with me. The link will be down below. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. 15 minutes could change your life. Thanks so much for following. My name is Bill Harvey with the Auto Dealership Academy, the Auto Sales Academy on Facebook, Auto Dealership Academy on LinkedIn, Auto Dealership Academy on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you prefer to watch it on YouTube, jump over there. But the best part is you're watching this on your favorite platform, which is exactly what I espouse with all of you, having a robust profile on each one of the platforms, because you just don't know how every single customer wants to follow along with you. Have a terrific day. Watch the next video, because that's going to make the most sense. Get ready for the next live event, because I'll spill the beans on how to really get under the skin and help them by converting our buyers from 1 in 10 to 1 in 5 to 1 in 4 to 1 in 3. Wouldn't that be magnificent?